I think we are live. Okay, there we go. How exciting. Good to see everyone. Um, Thanks for being here on YouTube. Like I said in the chat, this is the first time I have ever live streamed on YouTube. So if you see any tech problems, no, you didn't. And also, if you could drop in the chat if you're here live, if you're watching a replay, comment replay, but I want to see if I can see the chat. Oh, yes. Hey, Ria. Amazing. Good to see you. I normally go live in Facebook, but now I'm on YouTube. So I, again, have never done it here. It's a whole different window, but we're here now. So today, thanks for joining. You are here because I am talking about how I write blog content for my photography business and how it books me clients. I talk about this all the time, but I still feel like I meet new people every day and they're like, what do you mean you write blogs for your photography business? Or they say something like, and it didn't do anything for me. Or I wrote blogs and I hate it because, yeah, it doesn't yield results. Well, today I want to show you my new-ish process. It's the same framework that I've been teaching for years and have been using for myself since 2018, 2019, but now it's faster because we have AI tools with us. Hi, everyone. Hey, Dama. Hey, Brandy. Okay, so I have a little Notion document we are going to be working off of here, and I love this setting in Zoom. I think if I share it, it's going to put me over the Notion doc. How fun is this? Okay, just let me know if you can see it. I'm going to keep talking. Oh, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. In any case, we're here. So today we're talking about blogs to bookings, fast content creation that gets clients. And most of you are here because you saw that I now have this AI Blogging Copilot that helps me write these blog posts faster. So what is the AI Blogging Copilot? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a tool that I made for me. Like I said, because blogging has been such an integral part of my own photography business, I do it all the time. And it takes time to write a good keyword-rich blog post that's going to get picked up by search engines. It does take time. And I love writing blog posts because they're so targeted to exactly who you want to reach. And I'm pretty good at coming up with blog post ideas. I'm good at the whole process. But the thing that takes me the most brain power, obviously, is writing them. It takes me some time. And thus, the AI Blogging Copilot was born. So that's how it came to be. I created it because I needed it. If you want the tea, the real tea, which that is the real tea, but the reason that I sat down and was like, I need to make this now is because I was working with my Pinterest manager and she's amazing. I rebooked with her after we took a little bit of a break after I moved from California to Boston. And I ran up to the deadline on when I needed to give her blog posts so that she could create Pinterest content for me. And I needed to write 7 blog posts in one day. And I was like, wow, this is going to take me a really long time. So I was like, why don't I finally put together this GPT? I did it. 7 blog posts. Done. So that's the real tea. But what I really love about it is I am able to drop in my chicken scratch brain dump, just half-baked ideas, thoughts, and it turns it into a blog post that's basically 90% ready to go. So if you're joining live, I would love to know in the chat what your experience level with blog posts for your business is. Hey, Marissa, tell me, do you currently have a blog? Are you writing blog posts? Are those blog posts getting you inquiries? Or at the very least, are they getting you views? Tell me where we are. I can tailor it. And also, if you have questions, drop them along the way, because after I do the demo, I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be answering your questions. So what we're doing today, is doing a live demo of the AI Copilot. I'm a little nervous, but we're writing a blog today. And the blog that we were writing is for a session that I did a little while ago. Let me go ahead and share it. I did brand photos for my wedding photographer, and I haven't written a blog post about it for no reason other than I've been procrastinating on it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. This is Kim. She is my wedding photographer. She did my gorgeous wedding photos, and I did some brand photos for her. So this, a little bit of background, this is actually the second session that I did for her. I've done another branding session for her, but she came back about 2 years later and was just a lot more comfortable with her brand, with herself, with how she wanted to portray herself, and just the direction that she was heading in on her website. So she said, hey, I think it's time for a refresh. That's what the session is, and I want to write a blog post about it. Now, why do I love this whole situation? I already have a blog post published for her very first session that we did together, which means when I publish this one, I'll be able to link back to it. It's all related content. Google loves seeing that kind of related content. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm going to walk you through basically the whole process. Now let's jump back to Notion real quick. And I'm going to take a look in the chat. Okay, no to having a blog, no to blogging, that's okay. Have a blog, haven't added a new one in a long time. We slack on blogging. Okay, use it for a Substack and a newsletter. We should talk about that later in the Q&A. I have feelings about Substack. Brandy's getting views, fabulous. Okay, this is great. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get into this in a minute, but we're getting into this now. The keyword phrase. So whenever I'm writing a blog post, your main goal is you want to pick a keyword phrase. When I say keyword phrase, I basically mean, what are people searching for in Google? And is that related to the blog post that I want to write? So let's say I want to write a blog post. Here's a real example. I was working with my friend who's a hypnotherapist. I was using the AI Blogging Copilot for her to help write a blog post for her. And she wanted to write a blog post about 5 mindset shifts that you need to make. And so the keyword, I wish I remembered the specifics, but she came to me with the idea of, 5 mindset shifts you need to make for, we'll just say more confidence, because I can't remember. That's not what it was, but I can't remember what it was. And what we did was we took that and said, okay, let's do the keyword research and see, are people actually searching for that? And how many people are searching? Is it going to be easy for you to rank against other content that's trying to rank for that same thing? And basically, when you do keyword research, you're determining, is my guess of what I want the keyword phrase to be going to work and against other results that are showing up? So just as an example, this is a session. It's brand photos for a wedding photographer. That's basically where it is. So that's probably where I would start, right? Brand photos for a wedding photographer. And I'm going to do quick keyword research. Oh, set a timer. Hold on, you guys. I said I was going to set a timer. Now, keep in mind, if you saw all the marketing, I was like, I wrote a blog post in 16 minutes, which I did. Because I'm talking to you, it's going to take longer because I'm talking. But when I do it by myself, it really only takes 16 minutes. But I'm going to set not a timer, but a stopwatch in Google. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Go. And go. So when I'm doing keyword research, I keep it really easy, right? We don't have time to go into my whole process on how I do keywords, but basically what I do is I will just go into Google and I'll search brand photos for a wedding photographer. Sometimes I'll even like back it up. So if we just do brand photos, these are suggested keywords that come up when I'm looking for brand photos, but if you're trying to rank for brand photos, this is way too broad of a keyword, right? You're never going to show up for this. So I always want to get specific. So brand photos for a business. What are branding photos at home? Okay, what if we do wedding? Here we go, wedding photographer. And let's just see what comes up. We have other brand photographers. We have Reddit. We have some Instagram. Okay. Fabulous. Or maybe it's brand photos for a branding photos photographer. So this is just showing me what other people are searching. Now, because I am a photographer, if you're in any kind of visual field, which I know a lot of us here are we're all photographers, not all of us, but a lot of us are. I also go to Pinterest to do this because lots of people are searching in Pinterest. So brand photos for oh, look at that. Brand photos for photographers. Brand photos for a photographer. We also have wedding photographer brand photos, wedding planner brand photos. So let's just see, take a little look-see and see what comes up. So about what I expected, a lot of wedding photographers, I feel like their brand photos are all kind of similar. Like we all go for like the nice, elegant, florally type vibe. So the blog post that I want to write for Kim, we saw her photos. They're quite different from what's showing up here. So I could take a risk, right? I could go with wedding photos for a brand photographer, but maybe I'll add like colorful or fun. Just a descriptor, maybe casual, because hers are a lot more casual than what I'm seeing in the search. Maybe, let's see. Maybe I'll do fun. Fun, what? Yeah, okay. That's it. So that's my keyword phrase. Fun wedding photographer brand photos. And I am not going to think twice about it. Of course, there are all kinds of crazy paid and free tools you could use to do keyword research, but for the sake of this, we're going to keep it simple. So the next thing that I want to talk about before we jump into the AI Blogging Copilot, which is right here, a question that I've gotten from people who have seen this is, oh, does the Copilot help you with keyword research? The answer is kind of, but it's not really a keyword research tool. This Copilot has a specific use for writing the blog post. The reason why is because I prefer to do the keyword research on my own. That's the strategy part of it. And it's a really important skill to know how to do if you're going to be using blog posts to market your photography or creative service business. You need to know how to do keyword research on your own. So the AI Blogging Copilot does not do the keyword research for you because that kind of defeats the point. Do you know what I mean? I might build it in at a later time, but I think it's important to use your own noggin for the keyword research. So that's what we're doing. Now, jumping back into Notion, what I have prepped is a quick brain dump of this session. And like I said, these are pretty much chicken scratch notes. They're like half-baked thoughts. She wanted to do some photos at home and around her town. She wanted her photos to feel effortless and stress-free. I just took that from her questionnaire that we did way back when. These are the locations that we did. I just jotted down ideas. And then I told you this earlier. This is my second brand session with Kim. Both her brand and my process have evolved over time. So it was just fun to see how the photos are different. And then I link back to the original blog post. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this. We're going to go back to the AI Blogging Copilot. Oh, are you guys excited? I'm excited. I love it. Okay, we're here now. So once you are in here, usually this just says getting started. I don't know why my bubbles aren't working, but I'm just going to say get started. So for some backstory, this is in ChatGPT. It's a custom GPT. Oopsie, hold on. I am not sharing correctly. There we go. Why aren't you working? Hold on. It's doing the thing. Share and there we go. Okay, so welcome to the AI Blogging Copilot. So first, what it's going to do is it's going to ask me based on my own framework, are we writing a full blog post or are we just writing alt text? Because sometimes, even though blogging does take me time, I like to do it. So if I'm on a roll, I'm not going to stop myself from blogging. Do you know what I mean? So are you writing a full blog post today? Full blog post. Great, let's walk through a few quick questions. Now it's going to ask me what is my main keyword phrase. And I said the keyword phrase was fun brand photos for a wedding photographer. And then it's going to prompt me into the next two questions. It follows my step-by-step process that I made myself, which I love, so that I don't have to prompt it every single time. Okay, do I have a specific location that I want to optimize for? So usually I'm going to do one with a location, even though I'm not in the Bay Area anymore, but this was in the Bay Area, actually in Sacramento specifically. So we'll do Sacramento, California. Then she's going to ask me, what is this blog post about? So this is where I'm going to drop my chicken scratch bullet points. Oh, no, it's not yet. So something that I do when I'm writing blog posts, there's two types that I really hone in on as a photographer, as someone who offers a creative service. The first is client features or case studies, which is what we're doing now. The second is informational posts. So that would be if you're answering a question like, how much does brand photography cost? That's an informational blog post, but this is a client feature. So we're gonna do client feature. Now she's gonna keep walking me through the steps. I'm looking at the chat. We write blog posts, don't know if they contribute to getting inquiries. Okay, that's something that we can track. We'll get into that later. Dama has a blog but can't keep up with the weekly posts. I can't either. I don't blog weekly by any means. Okay, amazing. So if you don't have notes, what it's gonna do is ask you questions based on the type of blog post that you selected. So client feature, right? And if you're like, okay, I know I need to write this client feature, what the heck do I do? We always want to start with the client's goal. Why did they want to do brand photos? How did you, meaning me, the service provider, the photographer, reach their goal? How did you demonstrate your expertise? And do you have any fun or interesting stories from this session? So I am pretty sure these bullet points answer those questions. Maybe the one that's missing is the one about the goal. So after doing her first session with me over 2 years prior, Kim, what did I say was really, I don't know how to phrase this, but that's okay. You don't have to know how to phrase it. A lot more established in her branding, and her old brand photos didn't quite reflect the direction she was headed in. Like I said, this hardly makes any sense, but it's okay because that's what the GPT is for. So how did you plan to reach their goal? And then I'm going to talk about my process. We went through my standard or really detailed brand photo shoot planning process. We talked through her goals, where she was going to use the photos, and we collaboratively built the shot list and determined locations that would work best for her. Okay, that's pretty much it, and I have a fun story. So now we're just gonna send that bad boy. I don't know why I said it like that. Okay, great. So now I already have a writing sample that I put in when I built this GPT that's like a friendly, casual, informational style. It's one of my own writing samples. Let's say I have a different sample that I want to submit. I could drop that in here, but I'm not going to because I don't need one. So no sample. And now she's going to write the blog post for me. Oh, look at that. I love how it spits it out in a document like this now versus just in the chat. Oh, look at this. Oh, I love seeing it go. I'm so geeked out. I can't help it. Okay, so she's right. Wow, wait, this is actually a lot better than I expected. So the goal of this GPT is not necessarily to get you 100% of the way there. I will probably never condone copying and pasting a blog post or any kind of content from an AI into your blogging platform. Like, I'm never going to do that because you want to infuse your own voice. The cool thing about this is I have kind of already done that. I've provided a writing sample already, and I have the opportunity to add in more writing samples. So it sounds like me because I gave it a sample. Do you know what I mean? When I see people talk about AI and they're just like, oh, I had it write a blog post for me and it was terrible. It's because you're saying something like, write a blog post about my wedding photographer that I did brand photos for. Like, you're not giving it anything. You know what I mean? You have to prompt it well and give it enough information for it to run with it. So let me know, how do we feel about this so far? I'm feeling good. Wow, I love it. I don't know. The one thing that I do go through and edit is these dashes. People are always talking about it. Being like an AI tell, but I'm not editing it because it's an AI tell. I'm editing it because I never use this correctly. So it's a tell if you see me using an EM dash correctly. Great, great, great. Another thing that I hear all the time, especially from photographers, is, oh, I know I need to be blogging, but I don't know what to say. So having the prompts like this, because sometimes like I'll be in a writing mood and I can brain dump all of this stuff, but sometimes I have literally zero idea what to write about. And when I have zero idea, that's why I programmed in these questions, because it helps guide me if I'm like, man, I really love the session, but I don't really know what to talk about because I've blogged about, several website designer clients before. How can I make this feel a little bit different based on that person? So now what it's done, it's pulled out the keywords, fun brand photos for a wedding photographer in Sacramento. It's added in the locations into the heading. And then what I would do here, oh, it even added a let's connect. I freaking love that, is just copy and paste this bad boy into WordPress, zhuzh up the copy, like take out the grammar, change out a couple things for tone of voice, add in my emojis, and then it's almost ready to publish. Now, the next step after you write the copy, I don't really have anything for it to tweak. Sometimes I'll talk to it back and forth and say, actually, I hate this paragraph. Can we talk about this instead? Now, you also can add alt text to your photos. So I'm going to show you a quickie little example. I already picked out the photos that I wanted to include on her blog post. So I'm going to select a subset of them and upload them here. Probably let me make this a little bit faster. And what it's going to do, you can only upload 10 at a time because that's a ChatGPT limitation. Fabulous. Now what it does is it pairs up the file name with the alt text, and it adds in your keywords when it's relevant. It's not going to keyword stuff the alt text. I'm really big on that. A huge misunderstanding when it comes to SEO, blogging, whatever, is that people think alt text it's for the purpose of SEO. No, alt text is there for people who use screen reader technology or any kind of vision impairment technology. If you're using a screen reader and an image comes up, it'll read out the alt text to you. So it's really important for the alt text on images to be descriptive of what the image is, but that's not to say you can't ever put in keywords. You just don't want it to be, here's a brand photo of a woman during a brand photo shoot. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be descriptive. So what it does is it will pull out the alt text and it will add the keywords where it's necessary. So notice here, during an at-home brand photo shoot, and here it doesn't mention like brand photos at all, right? That makes sense. It doesn't need to be everywhere. And this one says brand photo of a smiling one, like, oh, yes, chef's kiss. So this makes it really easy to just copy it and paste it over into WordPress or Squarespace or whatever your blogging platform is when you're ready to go. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so geeked out. It saves me so much time. Like I said when I started, after I made this, I cranked out 7 blog posts over the span of like 2 to 2.5 hours, which on average put me at like 17 minutes a blog post. Oh, our timer. Let me check. Where are we? Hold your dang horses. 15 minutes and 56 seconds on the dot, you guys. Oh, how do I stop it? So that's how long it took me to write this blog post. If I were to write this from scratch, at least like 35 minutes, like at least. That's how much it used to take me. Now that I have this custom GPT, it's so much faster. So a quick recap of what we did. I started up the bot. She asked me some questions. I gave it my brain dump, and then I gave it the images. And now when you have more images, you can just keep giving it 10 at a time and it'll spit out the alt text, and it also gives you a meta description and a suggested URL slug for this blog post. Like, it saves me so much time. It's actually crazy. Ooh, good question, Dama. Do you change anything to make sure the headings? No, because it gives it to you in the correct format. So when you copy and paste this at least into WordPress, I don't know if it'll carry for Squarespace as well, but this is an H1. This will be an H2. This will be an H2. That is something that I would double check though, because sometimes Chatty gets a little crazy and she might hallucinate a little bit. I don't think this gave me any H3s, but honestly, for the content of this blog post, I don't really think I need one. So it's straight up formatted. It's chef's kiss. We love her. We love her. Oh yeah, the replay will be available if you're just now judging. I read and talked at the same time. The replay will be available if you are just now joining. And yes, you literally just judge and dump into WordPress. I am so excited. I can't even explain it. I'm so geeked out about it. And something that I also get asked is, does this only work for photographers? No, because I tested it with, like I said, my hypnotherapist friend. I've tested it myself, just coming up with different blog posts as if I ran a different kind of business. Do you know what I mean? Because I always have lots of business ideas spinning around. I will say, what was I going to say? Oh, for the client case study ones, it'll work better, obviously, if you are a one-on-one service provider, because that's what this is. The only type of business that I maybe wouldn't recommend this for is a product-based business. Like if you sell physical products, just because I haven't keyworded it. But anyway, service pros, my photographers, my web designers, my graphic designers, brand designers, done for you people, chef's kiss. This is for you. Can image titles and alt tags match? Yes. So we'll do one question here and then I'll jump back to my Notion doc. So these, I already renamed the image files before this. It takes 2 seconds. You select all, right click, rename on Mac at least, and I think it's pretty similar on a Windows computer. What I would probably do now that I've gone through this is change the file names to be, what is it? Wedding photographer brand photos dash my business name dash whatever. And this makes it really easy for you to match the photo to the alt text. So that's why I did it that way. Okay, let's jump back into Notion. 15 minutes, you guys. I'm so happy. And I even was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it that fast because I'm talking, but look at that. Okay, back into Notion. So set a timer. What are we? 15 minutes. And it was 59 seconds. Wow. Amazing. That's the brain dump. So now I know what everyone's asking. If you want access to my AI Blogging Copilot, and if you want to implement everything else that goes into SEOing your website, because it's not just blog posts, right? Blog post is a huge piece of the puzzle, but there's more to it. And there's more to the strategy behind choosing the keywords and making sure that it makes sense for your business. If you want access to my AI Blogging Copilot and more, you can grab it inside of SEO for Creatives. It is my course for creative one-on-one service providers to increase your Google leads and website click-throughs. I say and website click-throughs. This is really important. One thing I talk a lot about that I think is left out of SEO education is if your website is SEO'd into oblivion, but your user experience is not up to par and your copy's not up to par, you're still not going to see clients and conversions from that. So something that I teach inside of SEO for Creatives is not only the SEO part, but also how to design your homepage and an overview of how you should structure the flow of your homepage to maximize conversions. It's not just the SEO, because just the SEO alone is not going to get you clients. It's so important. I cannot stress that enough. It is set up in step-by-step videos, all 15 minutes or less. I make them real quick, real snappy, digestible. And there's also a checklist for you so that you can go and knock off step by step, make sure you have everything done on your website. So a few details, and then we're going to jump into some Q&A. The price for SEO for creatives is going up after tomorrow, Wednesday, May 21st. So you have today through end of day tomorrow, Wednesday, to grab it at its current rate. You will get immediate access to the AI Blogging Copilot. So once you log in, or once you purchase, there will be an email. You'll log into your course portal, and there's a lesson to grab access to your AI Blogging Copilot. And if you want to try it out and have me like online to answer your questions as you're either going through the course or using the AI Blogging Copilot, we're doing a live implementation session this Thursday. So Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern, it's like a co-working session, silent co-working, a come and go thing. So the first hour will be just silent co-working for us to knock out the blog post. I'll be in the chat for us to go back and forth and answer questions. And then the last 30 minutes we will reserve for Q&A, where you can screen share, we can troubleshoot if you're having tech issues, anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in the chat. There it is. And now we can jump into some Q&A. So I see some in the chat right now that I will answer. Yes, there will be a replay. We talked about that. Can you use this to also write captions for social media? So this bot in particular is geared towards blog posts. I have optimized it to write long form content. I actually created another GPT for myself for short form content, but it's a highly personalized process. So, you know, something I have been noodling on, this is besides the point, but a quick aside, something I've been noodling on is putting together a workshop for how you can make your own short form bot. If you're interested in that, just leave it in the chat. But no, this blogging copilot is specifically for blogging. And that's what I recommend for AI tools. Don't grab an AI tool that's going to do everything under the sun, okay? Because it's not going to be good at everything under the sun. AI tools are best when they have specific dialed in use cases, like my AI blogging copilot. Can you explain your comment on Substack? Yes, I can. I think Substack is a really cool product, but it does not replace a blog, because your blog is discoverable on Google and it links back to your website. It is your platform. It's your content. Substack is not your platform. I would treat Substack as closer to a social media platform than I would a blogging platform. It's not on your land. You are driving traffic to the Substack platform and not to your platform. If you're going to be writing on Substack, put it on your blog. Like, that's my whole thing, because once it's on your own website, on your blog, you are more likely to attract viewers into your world on your website, look at your services page, get in touch with you, all of these things. Put it on your blog. That's my whole spiel. We can get more into that later if you have follow-up questions, but it's fine. Like, I made a Substack. I don't do anything with it, but my blog on my website has been the primary driver for leads in my photography business. Over 50% of my leads to my brand photography business have come from Google because of my blog. That's where the traffic is coming from. Okay, now getting into the Q&A. Okay, so how exactly does the Copilot work? Oh, I just went over this. Inside of SEO for Creatives, once you log in, like I said, you got the portal, you'll get the lesson. You're going to need a ChatGPT account to access the custom GPT. You don't have to have a paid account. I double checked this. Let me know if that changes, because I feel like they recently changed this, so I am a little confused about it, but you don't, as far as I know, you just need a ChatGPT account. And then once you're inside, you can grab it and it'll add the custom GPT into your account, and it shows up on the side. It'll say like SEO for Creatives bot. I kind of talked about this too, but how is the Copilot different from just asking ChatGPT or Claude to write a blog post for you? So my Copilot, I created based on the framework that I teach inside of SEO for Creatives. I follow a really specific process and framework when I'm writing blog posts for my photography business. If you just go to ChatGPT and you're like, write me a blog post, it's not doing that. It's just pulling from everyone under the sun on the internet and writing a blog post for you. There's lots of things that could not go wrong with that, but that's why if you're like, oh yeah, I kind of use AI to do blah, 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 and it sounds boring or not good, it's because it's not prompting, or you're not prompting it enough. You're not giving it enough information. So that's why I made this bot, so that it walks you step by step through the process and asks you for the information to like pull it out of you without you necessarily having to write a novel or a beautiful piece of content. Just brain dump, write bullet points, and it'll turn it into a blog post for you. Yeah, and it's not going to sound like a robot, as you saw in the example, which I'm obsessed with. I love that. I don't even think I have to zhuzh it that much. Okay. The next question, oh wait, no, that's not it. How long does it take for SEO to start working? I get this a lot. So when I say start working, I'm defining that as you are starting to show up in Google results. The answer is it depends on where you are right now, on the work you've already done on your website. If you are if you've already done a baseline level of SEO and you add blogging onto it, at the earliest, maybe a couple of weeks. I've seen people start showing up for certain keywords in just a couple of weeks. But if you're starting from scratch with a brand new website, going to be a little bit longer, and it also depends on your niche. So the answer is it depends on how far you are. Oh, hey, Jay-Z. Can I rewrite old blog posts using this bot? Yes, you could. What I would do is I would go through the flow. Here we go. Hold your dang horses. Let's go back to here. So what I would do, oh, is she not sharing? There we go. Is when it asks you what, like, to start, I would go through the main flow. I would pick the keyword phrase that you want to optimize. I maybe wouldn't change the keyword phrase if you already did the keyword research. But I would go through the flow, and then when it asks for a writing sample, give it your past blog post. Then it'll spit out something different. And then, because you're rewriting a blog post, this is probably where you're going to have to go a little bit back and forth. So like I said, what I like to do is highlight, okay, let's say I don't like this. I actually really do. I don't like this. Can we rework it? And you would just paste it, and then it'll spit it out for you. I'm not going to do that though, because I really like this paragraph. Question. I heard that Google is able to detect human written content versus ones taken from ChatGPT. Oh, yeah. So this is why I say I never copy and paste directly from AI into anything. I always go through and I add my own tone of voice. So like I said here, I hate this. The EM dash. What I would do is just go through, edit for my own punctuation, how I write, how I talk. A really good way to do this is to read it out loud to yourself. If something makes you like, oh, I would never say that, then change it. I would also add in emojis because I type with emojis. So here I'd probably add a little wedding emoji. Kim and I actually go way back. Here's another opportunity for me to link another blog post. Met at a styled shoot for photographers in Palo Alto, California. I know the reason why this came to mind is because I'm pretty sure I have a blog post on this. So now I can link to another blog post. This was our second brain session together, and so much has changed since our first shoot. And I would normally add an exclamation point. So this is just what I would do. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Kim's brain has grown. And I would never say refined. Kim's brand has evolved. Kim's brand has evolved over the years. That's what I would say. Evolved over the years. And my own brand photography process has become even better. And then this isn't necessary. So extrapolate what I just did here on the rest of this. Just simple tweaks based on how I would actually say something, and you'll be fine. I have written a blog post with this bot that is ranking on Google. We'll see. I actually haven't taken a look at my my other stats for that batch of 7 blog posts that I published, but I'll take a look at that. And if you're on my email list, maybe I'll give a little bit of an update. I heard that AI puts tags on the output, so if you copy and paste. So, okay, a little. So I didn't do necessarily a huge deep dive, but I did start poking around. As background, I have a degree in computer science. I used to be a software engineer at Apple, so I am very tech savvy. AI doesn't necessarily put tags on it. It's because it's plain text. So you can copy and paste when you're doing something. Just retyping something exactly as it is isn't really going to change that. What you want to change is like the content itself. So change up like I said, the tone of voice, the punctuation, make it how you would actually do it. It's never going to be 100% spot on. So read it out loud, change it to your tone of voice, add in line breaks, paragraph breaks, add in emojis, add in how you would actually say it, and you're going to be good. Okay, back to my Notion doc with questions that I brought in. Okay, yeah, Robin, then you're fine. As long as you're adding in your own tone of voice and making sure that it sounds like you're going to be good. We never want to copy and paste directly from it. Like I said at the beginning, this AI blogging copilot is going to get you like 80 to 90% of the way there, right? We're just removing the initial brain power of you having to be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to write this? What's the word for this? And blah, 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 right? We're just taking what's in your brain. Maybe it's not as organized as you'd like it to be. You give it to the copilot and it's going to organize your thoughts for you. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So SEO, again, it depends on how long you've been working on it. If you are new to it or you're new to blogging, this is why it's important to start now. Because once busy season rolls around in the fall, you want to be primed and in the best position possible to be able to show up in search when people are searching family photographer, brand photographer, whatever it is on Google. You want to be in the best position possible. That's why if you are like, oh, let me put together my Instagram content for this week. No, you can, but I would love to see you put that same effort towards Google and towards blogging and your SEO. Another question that I got was, do I need Google ads to make the blogs work for me, to make SEO for creatives work for me? No, I have never run ads, Google ads, to my photography business. I've never run actually any kind of ads to my photography business. Everything that I am teaching and showing, I've ranked organically on Google, which means without paying for ads, because I follow the process that I teach inside of SEO for creatives. There is a process, you follow it, you will show up on Google. Like that's just how it works. I already talked about this. Is it only for photographers? Nope, I have tested the Copilot with other non-photography business owners and it works great too. Can I get just the Copilot? Somebody asked me this the other day. No. The reason why I don't sell this separately from the course is because you need to understand how SEO works before jumping into writing blog posts. If you just start like shoveling content and blog posts onto your blog without knowing the strategy behind it, you are probably not going to see the results that you want or expect. So it's important to go through the framework and to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm teaching when you use this AI blogging copilot so that you get the maximum results possible. It's not like, oh, I'm going to use a copilot and I'm going to show up on Google. Like, no, it's going to make you show up faster because you're writing blog posts faster, but you need to know the framework inside of SEO for creatives to use the copilot to the fullest. And then I have, oh, yes, I was going to screen share. We have a little example here from someone on Facebook from Siobhan. Siobhan, if you're here, let me know. I don't remember if you said you could come live or not. While I get that open, does it teach the preferred platform for your site/blog? Ooh, that's a really good question. I use WordPress, but SEO and blogging, it doesn't matter what platform you're using. The rules are the same. So there are some instances, for example, inside of the course, I have a whole behind the scenes of how I write a keyworded blog post from start to finish. It's a little bit longer because I didn't have the AI copilot at the time, but I show how to do that in WordPress because that's my platform. But the things that I teach, like the tech behind it, where you put what, where to put all your like metadata, that is tech specific, but I have links to like top website platforms like Wix, Squarespace, whatever. A lot of my students are on Squarespace. I have students on Wix. I have students on Show and WordPress, which is what I'm on, and it works the same. If you don't use WordPress and you're coming to the implementation session on Thursday and you can't find something, you can screen share with me and I can help you find where the thing is that you need to change. Currently using Squarespace, but the blog format isn't my favorite. And that's the case, should I have a site and blog be integrated in it? Can you elaborate more on your question? Do you mean like putting a blog on a separate platform? Let me know. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but if you can elaborate a little bit more, we can dig into that. So let's jump into this. So Siobhan was sharing, she started a new portrait photography website. She's had a commercial photography website for years. If you Google photography by Siobhan, a lot of other photographers come up and my website doesn't show up. So then in Facebook, I had a follow-up question of, okay, how long have you been running this new website? She said under a year. It's a bit of a work in progress, and she hasn't done SEO work yet. It's on Squarespace. So this kind of makes sense because she hasn't done any SEO work on it. Let me go ahead and screen share. Let me know if you're here. If not, that's fine. We're gonna come down here. We're gonna share the screen. And here we go. Lost the screen share button. Here we go. So photography inspired by fine art and fashion. And she said she's not showing up when people search photography. Oh my gosh. Graphy by Siobhan. So her website is photographybysiobhan.com. And then we have another Siobhan. We have Instagram. So what this is telling me is Google just doesn't have enough information on you on your website. Here's your site. What is this? For a few results down. Google just doesn't have enough information. And just by looking at this, one of the first things that I like to see, especially for someone who's location based, is your location above the fold. And I see it's down here, but I would definitely pick one. I get into the whole keyword strategy inside of SEO for creatives, but when you're feeding it to very different locations, Google is like, I don't really know what to show you for. Like, I don't really know where I'm supposed to show you. So we have photography by Siobhan. Yeah, what I am gathering from this is we just need more information for Google. We could get into the weeds of this. I didn't do like I'm not going to do a full-on website audit here, but I see we also don't have a blog. But if we go back here, I wonder, well, I don't know if I want to screen share someone else's. I'm not going to screen share someone else's website. But there's lots of things that play into this Google ranking. Like if this website has been up for a lot longer, Google likes to see websites that have been around for longer. So honestly, it's just going to take some time. My recommendation would be to pick the one location. You can have a different page for Oslo, and start a blog, continue creating content about photography so that you're signaling to Google, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm a photographer. And I would love to see other websites linking back. So backlinks, which is just when another website links back to your website. I talk more about that inside of SEO for Creatives. I'm actually in the middle of filming a new update to the course about that. It's important to signal to Google that you're related. So an example would be getting on, like joining your local chamber of commerce and having them link back to you. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Let me come back to these questions. Okay. example is having my main website on Squarespace and a blog be on WordPress. Okay, no, I would not recommend doing that. Have it all on one platform. Don't separate it, because what is going to happen is Google's going to get confused, because you'll have two websites. You'll have a Squarespace website and then you'll have a WordPress blog. Those are two separate websites because Squarespace and WordPress do not integrate together. So if you really love Squarespace, stay on Squarespace and just use their blogging feature. Or if you're like, I've been thinking about moving, maybe look at a different platform. But this goes for everyone. Your blog tech platform needs to be on your main website platform. Don't have them separately. That's going to not help. That's not going to help your SEO. Okay. I think those are all the questions I had pre-submitted. If you have anything else, drop it in the chat. One more time, I am going to grab the link for SEO for Creatives. So as a reminder, the price is going up end of day tomorrow, Wednesday. You can grab my AI Blogging Copilot inside of SEO for Creatives. It's available as soon as you grab it. And then on Thursday, we're doing a live implementation session, which is a co-working session, basically, silent co-working for the first 60 minutes. Then for the last 30 minutes, we'll screen share and do a Q&A. During the whole time, during the co-working session, I'll be in the chat. So if you need help debugging something, or you've questions or anything like that, I will be available to answer your questions. So I dropped the link into the chat. Thanks everyone for joining live, and I will see you next time. Bye.